They were treasures. Then, they were trash. No warning, no mercy. One day you are a king, the next you are broke. The gemstone market has a dark side, and today we expose it. The architecture of a crash. Wealth is fragile. In the world of gems, it is built on perception. It is built on trust. But trust can evaporate. When the truth comes out, the market doesn't just dip, it collapses. We are not talking about market trends. We are not talking about supply and demand. We are talking about total loss, total abandonment, total worthlessness. These are the stones the industry tried to hide, the cautionary tales, the ghosts of the vault. Let's begin the countdown. Number 10, blue obsidian. It looked like the night sky, deep, electric, haunting. It was marketed as volcanic glass. From the deepest vents of the earth, collectors went crazy. Prices surged. People built entire collections around it. They said it held the energy of the volcano. The truth? It was glass. Literally, just common, man-made industrial glass. Melted down, recycled, poured into a mold. When the secret was revealed, the prices didn't fall. They vanished. A stone that sold for thousands became worthless overnight. It wasn't a gemstone. It was a craft project. The collectors who bought it, they didn't just lose money, they lost their pride. The volcanic treasure, just a bottle of soda, recycled. Number 9, mystic topaz. Imagine a rainbow in a stone. Shifting colors, every angle a new surprise. It was the must-have of the early 2000s. It was everywhere, jewelry stores, online auctions. People thought it was a new discovery, a miracle of nature. The truth was much simpler and much cheaper. It was just white topaz, treated with a thin metallic film, a coating, an illusion. Then the problem started. The coating began to wear off. It scratched, it peeled, it faded. The rainbow disappeared. Behind it, only a dull, colorless stone remained. When the first peeled stone hit the market, the panic was total. It wasn't an investment, it was a disposable fashion piece. Today you can find them in bargain bins. Nobody wants the rainbow anymore. The illusion broke, and the value went with it. Number 8, treated tanzanite. Tanzanite is a miracle, one source on Earth, Marilani, Tanzania. When it is high quality, it is the most beautiful blue in existence. But the demand? It outpaced the supply. The industry got desperate. They started baking low-grade brown zoisite. They used heat. They used radiation. They forced the color change. It worked for a while. But collectors noticed something. The color wasn't stable. Exposure to light, heat, or even simple wear caused the color to leach out. The velvet blue became a washed-out gray. People started seeing their investment degrade in their own safes. The confidence in the gem died. Serious collectors stopped buying. The price plummeted. The market for treated stones collapsed. Only the natural, untreated specimens kept their value. Everything else? Just dust in a drawer. Number 7, citrine. Citrine is the color of gold. It represents wealth. But look at the market. Almost every citrine you see is a lie. It is amethyst, heated until the purple turns yellow. It's an industrial process. It's cheap. It's fast. The market is flooded, so flooded that the value has hit rock bottom. Real, natural, unheated citrine? It is rare. It is beautiful. But it has been guilt by association. The market for citrine is so saturated with baked stones that the entire category has been devalued. You can't tell the difference anymore. And when you can't tell the difference, the market assumes it's the cheap one. Wealthy collectors won't touch it. The value crashed. Not because it isn't pretty, but because it became common. Common things do not hold wealth. They are just pretty rocks. Number 6, low-grade natural diamonds. Diamonds are forever. That's what they told us. They told us it was a store of value. They told us it was an asset. Then technology changed. Lab-grown diamonds arrived. They are chemically identical. They are visually identical. And they cost a fraction of the price. The natural market panicked. They tried to label them. They tried to hide them. But the truth is out. Low-grade, included, commercial diamonds have lost their liquidity. Jewelers don't want them. Pawn shops don't want them. If you try to sell a common diamond ring today, you will get pennies on the dollar. The myth of resale value is gone. The market has been flooded with a laboratory alternative. The rarity is gone. The exclusivity is gone. And for the low-grade stones, the value is crashing. The empire of the diamond is losing its sparkle. The psychology of ruin. Why does a stone become worthless? It isn't just the stone itself. It is the story. When the story breaks, the price follows. The next 5 gems didn't just lose value. They lost their souls. They became the pariahs of the auction house. The stones that nobody dares to bid on. Let's descend further. Number 5. Glass-filled ruby. The king of gems. For centuries, it was the ultimate asset. But in the early 2010s, a monster was born. The glass-filled ruby. It started with low-grade, opaque corundum, rocks that look like gravel, ugly, brown, full of cracks. Then the labs got clever. They used high-lead glass. They melted it into the cracks. They filled the holes. They turned a $1 rock into a vivid red ruby. The market was flooded. Millions of carats sold in department stores, sold on cruise ships, sold to unsuspecting retirees. They called them natural rubies. Technically they were, but they were held together by glass. Then the acid test happened. Women would go to the jeweler to have their rings cleaned. The jewelry cleaner, a simple acid, would eat the glass. The ruby would literally fall apart. It would crumble into dust. Right there in the shop. The scandal was nuclear. The value of these stones went to zero instantly. If you have a glass-filled ruby today, you don't have a gem. You have a repair nightmare. Worthless. A monument to corporate greed. Number 4. Andesine labradorite. This is the greatest heist in gem history. Around 2006, a new red gemstone appeared. Andesine. They said it was from the high mountains of Tibet. They said it was rare. They said it was the next big thing. TV shopping channels sold it by the bucket load. Collectors spent millions. It was red. It was clear. It was affordable. Too affordable. Independent labs started digging. They went to Tibet. They found nothing. No mines. No red stones. The Tibet story was a ghost. The truth was a nightmare. The stones were common, yellow labradorite from Mexico. They were being shipped to a factory in China. They were being diffused with copper, cooked in a furnace for weeks. The red color was fake. The origin was fake. The rarity was fake. When the news broke, the market didn't just crash. It turned into a courtroom. Lawsuits flew. Refunds were demanded. The red andesine became the red stain on the industry. Today, you can't give them away. A stone once worth hundreds per carat is now used for aquarium gravel. The Tibet mystery was solved, and it cost the collectors everything. Number 3. Apatite. It has the color of Paraíba tourmaline, the neon blues, the tropical greens. It looks like $1 million, and for a while people paid for it. Apatite was marketed as the affordable exotic, but there was a secret the sellers didn't mention: the Mohs scale. Apatite has a hardness of 5. That's soft. Too soft for a ring. Too soft for a pendant. Even dust, which contains silica, can scratch it. Collectors began to realize their investment was disappearing. Their stones became cloudy. They scratched when they were wiped with a cloth. They shattered in ultrasonic cleaners. The collector's dream became a maintenance nightmare. As the word spread, the serious buyers pulled out. They realized that a gem that can't be worn is just a sample in a jar. The liquidity dried up, the resale market vanished. Today, apatite is a dead stone in the trade. Beautiful to look at, impossible to sell. A neon trap for the uneducated. Number 2, green quartz. Green is the color of envy, and the market was envious of emerald. So they created praseolite, green amethyst. They told us it was a rare, natural occurrence, only found in a few spots in Brazil. People loved the minty, soft green. It was the organic look of the decade. But nature doesn't make much green quartz. Man, however, makes plenty. The market was hit with a tidal wave of irradiated quartz. Common white quartz hit with gamma rays. It looked exactly like the rare natural stone. The price dropped from exclusive to industrial. Then the sun hit them. Many of these treated stones are not light stable. People would wear their green amethyst to the beach. By the time they got home, the green was gone. The stone was white again. A ghost stone. When the public realized their jewelry was fading away, the trust was broken. The praseolite name became a joke. It went from the high-end boutiques to the everything for $10 bins. The green dream was a gray lie. Number 1, lithium-treated kunzite. Kunzite is a beautiful pink stone. It's the evening gem. But in 2026, it has become the ultimate symbol of worthless. Why? Because of the extreme treatment. Kunzite is naturally light sensitive, but labs found that if you treat it with lithium and radiation, you get a deep, vivid purple, a color that rivals the best amethyst or spinel. For 2 years, these vivid kunzites were the kings of the trade. They were sold as masterpieces. Then the reality set in. The color wasn't just light sensitive, it was temporary. The deep purple would fade to a sickly pale pink in weeks, even inside a jewelry box, even in the dark. The treatment was unstable. The vivid stones were essentially dying. The market reacted with fury. Major labs began refusing to certify the color. Insurance companies stopped covering them. Collectors who paid $2,000 a carat found themselves holding a $20 stone. It is the most dramatic value vaporization in history, a stone that literally disappears before your eyes. It is the number 1, the ultimate warning.